Right then, here we go with part 2. So I am going to shift it up a little bit, see if we can get the tilt right down a little bit and pan over. See if we can pull it down. Oh, that's ticking it up. Is that to the right to the end of the eye? Here. Nope, can't see the finger, so I use my finger for, that's it. Right, now you should be able to see. So I'm gonna take it from the eye with a HB Faber-Castell HB pencil, and I'm going to come in from the back with my hand sort of tilted so that you can turn it round if you want to turn your board around, so you just go in like that, but rather than turning this round, I do the first strokes in the only slightly, ever so slightly touching the, be a good idea if I had the picture in front of me, and I haven't, so I need to have that picture in front of me, don't I? That one, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so I think I'm actually going to come in from this side. Little first strokes from the side of the head, because he's got like a HB coloured fur. HB is more of a light tonal grey than the other colours, and it's more of a 2H colour but darker. The side of the head is quite straight. Sorry about that. It's typical. As soon as I start recording, somebody or something happens or talks. But that was just my husband. He's on a hunt for spray for these, our ornaments, our figurines that we design. He's on a hunt for spray. So anyway, I'm just like slightly just flicking this HB in the direction and his ear, so it comes through to ear to ear. And there's like darker flecks up here. We're just really doing this bit light. You don't want to press on too hard first, because you actually want to find all the little, where the dark bits are going to go. Maybe do that a little bit darker, because you know that's where the dark bits are going to go, so you can sort of put them in. And there's a lot of like letter Y's in a dog's fur. There's like it's a, you know, like a letter Y. Then it starts to come up and flick off. and flicks off into the outside here. So we'll just do a quick flick with a pencil. And if you can't flick it out far enough, just get your pencil blender and pull it out with that, and that'll make it blend at the end. Doing a lot of rhyming this morning, aren't I? The top of the head comes in this way. There's not many flick bits on the top of the head, that's flicking it the other way around. Then you bring the fur from going to the right, you bring it in so it's coming, as you get to the middle of the head you're almost coming down. The fur's almost straight, well, it's straight down till you get to a certain point. My certain point is there, and then we're going to make that a bit darker because that's where the middle of his head is. So then his ear, make him a bit smaller so I could get him in. His ear, I don't really want to do any of that. Well, we've still got this ear to flick because we don't really want to have to touch it after that, after we've flicked it. And his ear is, there's quite a few little bits coming off it, so I just go around with my pencil and in the right way, in the right direction, flick. Sorry if you can hear my dog's grunting. It's not me, honestly. I don't make noises like that. They're barely touching the paper with this flicking. I did there, I went a little bit too high on that then. But I can always rub it out if I've... And then I'll come back down and flick it out a little bit more. And put more hairs down. Then I'm down again. I'm slowly coming into the right, turning round on this ear. Slowly coming into the right, but still at sort of that angle. So you want it that, like, if you just look at your reference picture and see the way that the fur is going, popular today. This is, it gets lighter there for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a bit darker in this bit. I'm just going to put loads of flicks in. It's darker there, and it's darker there, and it's darker there. And he's got a dark bit coming down here. And it's just dark. But it's a dark HB colour. So like I say, if your hand starts aching from being bent that way like that, like mine is now, you can always turn the paper around and do it the other way if you wanted to. So I could turn this round now, tuck it on stick it, turn it round like this, and then you can just push off. It's not even showing on the camera there, is it? No. So then you can just push off that way if you want, if you really want, if your arm was aching. Push off in that direction, and same here if you want to push down instead of up, instead of having your hand bent. Someone said to me when I first started, well, just turn your paper around, and I said, oh no, I can't do that, it's got to be the right way around, it'll confuse me. And then I realised that it was actually much easier to turn the paper round and do this bit, do stuff like this, turned round, even like to the side, if you want to turn it round to the side and like come in through this way instead of going that way. You can, but for now, because we're on video, I'm going to keep him there. Right, here we have dark bits, tiny little shady bit. I don't know why I've got clean my rubber on. I've got a little bit of a line there then. But for this bit actually I'm gonna use where did I put my 2B? 2B? Or not 2B? 2B, where's it gone? Oh, wasting time, come on. I'm gonna use my 2B for this bit, and I'm gonna because this bit's got some quite dark bits in. I'm going to bring your 2B into these as well. Now, because I know these are dark. I know they are dark. I know there's a dark, a flick of bit here, I can see, and that's got a bit flicked off to the side as well. going to get my brush, a little long edge brush, and just soften them edges up, just push them through. Soften the edges up and pushing them out in the same direction as the fur will go. Soften them up that way and soften them down that way. Same to the top of the head. Push up so it doesn't look like you've just given him a crew cut. And soften the top of the head with the brush. You do end up with graphite in places you don't want graphite doing it this, but just get your kneaded rubber and then just pick up that graphite that's just gone onto the paper and just clean him up a bit around the edges. Then I'm going to get my blending stump and blend this dark bit out. So I draw this bit with the blending stump. It's actually coming out. So, and darker. My other brush, shorter stinged brush with the shorter bristles. Gonna soften all this up and get that graphite underneath. Remember, this is just the top layer of his fur. Well, no, the bottom layer of his fur eventually. But you do want to make sure that it's still soft. And using a brush rather than a blending stump, you're not losing the tooth of the paper. You're not losing a tooth of the paper when you use a brush. In fact, you're creating more of a tooth, I think, because you're not flattening the tooth, you're pushing it under. Bring that out into the ear. Use the graphite on the brush to give it a bit of shade. Then I'm going to get my F, because it's a hard blade, a hard point. And down here it has got quite a straight edge. So I'm going to use a definite hard to bring this in, and it is quite dark down here. And I'm going to go over where I just went with the HB, make more of a fur line stroke. Just taking this from here because he's got a bit of a light patch above his eye, so I'm just going to take this from here. Working in the width for all the time and just in fur motion. Flick. Almost straight here. Almost straight. Here it sort of circles off into it's like a curve on the fur. Here it sort of curls into his main head area, hair area, curls in, and then straight out. And like I said, I remember I'm using the F because it's a more harder pencil sharp pencil point. It's more harder lead. That's the word I was looking for. Oh God. Why am I even bothering teaching? I can't even get my words right. Right, and then I'm going to push back off again. And then I'm going to come back down again. It's just so mainly so that you don't get your fur lines too uniformed, and so that it's not all the same shade, because the dog's hair goes tons of different ways unless it's just been recently groomed, which is more often than not. Carry on going that way. Give a few different press harder in places where it looks like it's a little bit darker. Like here, there's a dark and a dark, and it's darker in here. My hand's aching now. I'm not used to doing this anymore. I used to do it all the time, and now I'm not used to doing it. It's and plus I'm trying to cram as much teaching into 1 hour as I possibly can because I don't want people getting bored. So right, now I get my brush again, my small brush, a short, and I just brush in the way of the fur and brush that graphite into the groove of the paper. Brush it in so you're not leaving any of the paper untouched. Push it in. I'm going to push it into the bit I've not even put any pencil lines on, because then I can use my Tombow mono eraser and pick them out again. Go back over even where I put my Tombow mono eraser, so it's all soft and fur-like. Did I do that up here? Didn't I? It looks quite soft there. So inside his ear it is quite light, but I don't want it to be too light, so I've got a 2H graphite stick, which are totally different. They are full graphite sticks with a shiny bit on the outside so you can hold it without getting your hands dirty, just like a pencil, but they've got like a covering on them and they're full, so, and you can just hold them on the side and shade. So obviously inside a dog's ear it's like skin, it's not all fur, so I'm going to put here in some small circular motions, I'm going to put some 2H in his skin, just really lightly touching the paper, not really hard at all, because this is just like my skin, so there's no fur strokes, there's no, just small circular motions. Just where the skin will be. Just put it where the skin will be. You can actually use this to your advantage because you don't really have to put definite lines in with a graphite stick. You can just wing it. Just put lines in wherever. That's what I do. Just slightly touch it in the same direction as your picture, but because it's got fur coming off the skin, or fur going onto the skin should I say, in this part, we can not worry so much about the, sorry, it's just concentrating on what I'm doing. It's because the edge of this ear is a little bit darker. I'm going to carry on a little bit with this 2H stick and just come in again at the edges of this because it is really dark at the edge. So I'm going to layer up lots of different colours if I can. Lots of different colours, lots of different textures. just so that it's not just one pencil, and you can tell it's been layered and not just drawn, textured. And I'm gonna come up this way because he's got hairs, and you should see the dog. And I've got a thing in front of my window. The dog's looking at he's stood on it and looking out the window now. Just where I sit and eat my lunch and just look out the window. I mean, the view's not brilliant, but I don't know, I just like to look out the window. I'm not nosy or anything. Definitely not nosy. We close our curtains at 6 o'clock every night, even in the summer. Only because we like to watch Netflix, obviously. Or there are other channel movies, things you can watch as well, but we are currently watching Fringe on Prime Video, on Prime. So yeah, the sun comes round the front of our house at night time, so it shines on the TV, so we have to close the curtains. So we're not nosy because half the time the curtains are closed. So we can't be nosy. I must admit though, if I hear something going on, I'll get up and have a look. Aren't we all like that? But luckily we've got good neighbours, so not much goes on around here. We used to have noisy dogs next door, but that doesn't happen anymore because I don't know, it just doesn't. We don't hardly hear the dogs next door, and they've got quite a few. I think they've got 2 St. Bernards and Staff and a French Bulldog, I think. And I don't hear any of them barking. Ours bark more than they do, so. And I've got 4 Chihuahuas. So anyway, back to the teaching. Still just flicking all these hairs to make them soft. Keeping this dark here, ouch. Keep that dark there. Because it's quite a, that's really light, that bit there though. I was saying about the dogs next door not barking, and then Misty starts barking. That's just typical, isn't it? And he's got a little bit of hair, like odd piece here. So I'm just gonna mask that in so I don't lose it. He's got really light bits coming down here, but the skin texture comes up to about here. So again, in circular motions, just putting that, oh bless you, just putting that skin texture in, just in circular motions. And then I'm going to get my brush again, my good old favourite little brush. I never used to use a brush, and I must admit I struggled, and it took me days and weeks to do the portrait, but now I do use a brush and it doesn't take me, it takes me a day, 2 days at most to do a portrait. As you will probably see, this will be done in probably 6 hours. I can't believe I mentioned how the dogs didn't bark next door, and ever since they've been barking. I don't know if you can hear them on the video, but Ollie wants to have a nosy. I'll look and see. I wish I could show you Ollie right now. I don't think I can. Right, I'm gonna brush all this into the right direction. Don't always use the brush. If I'm doing a portrait for a client, I don't really use the brush. I take my time, but I'm showing you how to draw a French bulldog the easy way. And without any growling. Pep's getting excited because he knows all he's seen Misty. He's too little, he's not big enough to nosy out the window. What we saying, Al? What we saying? What is it? Rubbing circular motion still, because same motion with the brush as I did for the skin. Same motion with the brush as I did with the pencil on the skin. My dogs are outside now, so you'll probably hear a little bit of barking. Small dog syndrome. Right, now I'm going to get my mechanical pencil. Not many people use these either for fur, but I like to, because I like to put some deep strokes in as well, just on the very end where it's dark, and again just going over where I've already gone over 3 or 4 times before. So you're sort of layering your first stroke up. I'm going to bring them out a little bit this way. Hold your pen, if you can't struggle with it, you can hold it further up, and then you're not pulling your hairs out too much, because your pencil won't allow it. So if you do struggle, hold your pencil further back. If you struggle with the pressure that you're using, or that's required to get your initial lay down. And now it's dark here, and he's got a dark bit here, and he's got a dark bit here too, sort of uniformed. And he's got little marks everywhere. Just let my pencil guide me and take me where he wants to go.
Yeah, they were alright.
Got it. Right. Ew. this mechanical pencil on this bit as well, because this bit is quite dark too. I want to give me some third lines. Now here it gets tricky because we're going to actually properly look at the reference photo and put the lines in that are on the reference photo. Dark there, so he's got some sort of like Y's coming up here, and down here too, and he's definitely got, I'm going to use my 4B for this one, my 4B mechanical pencil, because these are black. Let's say from around here, these are black. They come in and they go out, come in, they go out, in, out, in, out. Okay, so they get a little bit lighter near the end. There's an obvious dark line there, and there's one there, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, and then this bit is dark, and then it's dark there, but it flicks out, and then it comes in here again, but it flicks out, and then it gets a bit lighter, but there's still some obvious marks. Excuse me. Coming down and down there. There's one there with a little one coming up it. And here on this, I'm going to find these obvious skin tone marks and pull them out just by using the side of this mechanical pencil. There's some skin tone marks in here, and when you've used your brush to push your graphite round, you will have made your own patterns to go through, depending on what paper you've used. With Fabriano Artistico, it's got its own pattern, so I use the pattern of the paper to put in these lines for the skin. And to follow for the hair and stuff. So I'm going to pull some of these lines out, same up here. These pretty obvious dark ones. And here. And then I'm going to get my paper blender and blend them out into the blend all this down. Only really lightly touching the paper, not hard enough to ruin the tooth of the paper, just barely touching, just to soften them lines that you've just put down with your mechanical pencil. Bring these in. Bring these in and soften them. Bring this down. Around. Push that up. Push that up. Right, this is a bit of a gut. Oh, it's more of a brushy brush. I've used it before because I've just put graphite on the paper now. Now I'm going to spread that graphite, soften the graphite around the just spread it around into the skin area, the same way as the fur is going, even from the dark bit. We're getting there, slowly. Right, now I'm going to find 2B, a 2B pencil. I'm going to do it again. Put my fur marks in. More layers. More darker. More darker. Darker there. Darker, darker, darker. And I'm going to do a bit here as well. Put a few layers in here. carries on up around his eye here. Then there's a line and a hair there. That's doing me head in where I did that with that brush. Take that off. Right, now I'm going to get my Tombow Mono eraser. Everybody's seen one of these if you're an artist anyway. A Mono Zero. And with this I'm going to do the same as I did with the pencil. I'm going to rub it out in layers, just like I did with the pencil, but now I'm taking it out. Taking it out here. And there where I didn't put any layers in because there's barely anything there. Here. And around here. And through here. And his head. Don't forget there's a curve here on the end of the head. But then it comes straight and it comes around. I'm going to jitter. I'm going to go where the rubber takes me. Here too. Because it's quite light in here. There's a hair missing there and a hair that's in there. Try and keep your white areas etched. the areas white. If you need to clean your brush, you just rub it on any surface and it'll clean mostly any surface anyway. Just keep going over in the right direction. Even in places not touched with pencil. Keep going. The skin lines. Take these back out. Put these back in, by taking the brush away. Give your hairlines proper definition with your brush, with your rubber. And then get your brush again. And push it all back in again. I like to blow as I do this last bit, because I like to blow some of the graphite away. And we're just about at an hour. Obviously this is not dark enough yet, but I will come in and do it in the next hour. So we will be going all over this area again just one more time in the next hour. So I will see you in the next part 3, because I only really want to do these in 1 hour segments so I don't bore everybody, and so everybody can just watch the one that they want. And obviously the last one or the first one might be of more interest, so you can do it like that. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now, guys. Take care out there. See you later. Bye.